Students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope everybody is having a superb week so far. Students, this lesson is an IELTS speaking class. And the topic of part 2 and part 3 will be about adventures. And I think that's quite a fun topic, as most of us do like to go on adventures, whether local or international. This lesson, everybody, is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are our websites. They power these live classes and they house our materials. Our academic website looks like this with the blue background. And to join the premium version, it is a one-time payment. You get lifetime access, and you just click this big red button that I just circled there to my left, and then you're good to go. We're an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent, and we help thousands of students succeed on IELTS and improve their English every single day. And you're going to do that today with some speaking practice. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderator. She is in blue. Welcome, Anna. Nice to see members in the class. Abhishek, Murasa, Alice, Olivia. Good to see students. General IELTS looks like this. gieltshelp.com. We have a separate website for that, just because it makes sense to keep them separated for different students. Or I should say for students with different interests, one for school and work, the other more for immigration. All right, those of you who are premium users on the website, you get 2 more classes like this each week through Zoom. Make sure to come and show up. We did send the Zoom links out for those classes earlier this week. You can check out that playlist here. Ghazi, thank you for the super chat donation. That's fantastic. It's nice of you. All right. We have Instagram. It's IELTS_AEhelp or GIELTS help. We also have apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. The apps will link to the websites. And if you have questions, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Okay, let's get into speaking, everybody. I know that's why you're here and you're ambitious to get going, and going we shall. By the way, definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button because you've got lots and lots of great videos like this one to help you on your preparation journey. And we'll just drop that into the chat there. Let's do some speaking, everyone. So this is speaking. The goal here is speak and repeat. So speak and repeat. Don't just listen. If you're listening only, then it's a listening class, which is also okay, but you're here to speak. So copy what I say, copy how I say it, and shortly you will have a chance to speak with me. We're going to integrate Zoom into this class. Yeah, who's asking a hee hee lala? Yeah, this video is being recorded as well. Yeah, thanks for asking that. Absolutely. YouTube records live classes. Anna, the AEHelp app right now is not working all that great for iPhones, to be perfectly honest with you. It is available for it, but there's a few fixes that need to be done. Okay. All right. So into speaking, students, you show up to your exam. The examiner will meet and greet you, and they will say, "May I see your identification?" Show up to the exam early, everybody, like 1 hour before, so you can warm up with some of these questions with some candidates that are waiting. May I see your identification? Students, this is a proficiency exam. It's not an English as a second language test. It's a proficiency exam. The idea of a proficiency exam is how well can you communicate in this language? Communication is not just vocabulary and grammar. It's both grammar, vocabulary, and coherent quality answers. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. Pianist Thumpusta says, yes, certainly, sir. Here is my passport that I used to register for this test. Please take a look. Let's finish that sentence. Yeah, and then it's good. All right. Alexander says, Shirley, here is my passport, which I used for the registration for this test. Please have a look. Very nice. Nice full sentences. Students, again, copy and repeat. Next question. What is your full name? Okay. Again, give a nice full sentence answer. So Manisha Paul would say something like, my given name is Manisha, and my surname is Paul. Please just call me Manisha. Okay, so that's what you would say. Wong says, hi Adrian, I am from China. I'm a big fan of your channel. May I know how I can take a mock test with you? Wong, while some people are thinking of this question, what is your full name? I'll tell you, Wong. So if you go to our website, and you can be a free or a premium student, you can go to your My Student account, and in your My Student account, there's a button here. It's a yellow button. It says Speaking Interview Practice, and you click on that button. It's $25. You fill out the information, you send payment, and then you will get an email within 24 hours to schedule your mock lesson. So that's how you book a mock speaking interview with me. Thank you for asking that. Okay, so again, that's at aehelp.com. Yeah, Aman, we will be switching to Zoom shortly here. Okay. Alexander says, my given name is Walter, and my family name is Shabchuk. Please call me Walter. Yeah, and sometimes Walters like to be called Walt. Yeah, absolutely. Very nice. All right. So, let's get back to the lesson here. All right. So then they ask you a couple of questions to get you warmed up, like do you have any hobbies, or what do you do on the weekend? And the examiner wants you to feel comfortable. They want you to feel as relaxed as possible. And then they'll say, okay, for part one, I will ask you some questions on a general topic. And this is where they really get into assessment, which is kind of not true. They really are looking at your English from the very start of the interview. So from the first moment you walk in. But technically, when they start writing down notes about your proficiency, that happens at part one. Okay. Yeah, you're very welcome, Wong. Yeah, book a mock interview. We'll do the full interview. By the way, Wong, the way it works is we do the full interview. We record it so that you can use it for your future learning. And then I give you a band score estimate and feedback, and even a little bit of practice of how to improve. So those mock interviews are about 30 minutes long. 15 minutes for the interview, the speaking interview, and 15 minutes for the feedback and practice. Okay. All right, part one. So the examiner will say something like, let's talk about feeling happy. And then they'll ask you a question like, are you usually a positive person? It means, do you usually feel happy? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. Nice full sentence answer, everybody. Okay. Pianist says, yes, it depends. I believe the time I helped someone, that makes me become a positive person. Okay, don't answer questions like that. Pianist, okay. Students, here's a very important tip for you for the exam. Don't say, yes, it depends, okay? Avoid that, okay? You know why? Okay. So avoid it depends because it leads to confusing answers that are often incorrect, both grammatically and in coherence. Okay, they just don't make sense. So here it's a good example. Thumpusa. It says, "Are you usually a positive person?" Okay. Yes, it depends. You can't usually depend to be a positive or not a positive person, right? So the correct answer would be something like, yes, I am definitely in a good mood most of the time, especially when I help someone. I was teaching my sibling piano yesterday, and I felt great the whole day as a result. Okay, so pianist Thumputsa, I'm probably totally not pronouncing that right, but that would be the correct answer. So especially for the IELTS, everybody, I highly recommend choosing one side and then just giving a clear answer. Okay. Does that make sense, everyone? Yes, hopefully. Okay, SM blogs. Again, confusing answer. So students, this is what I mean about it's a proficiency exam. It's not an English as a second language exam. SM blog says, certainly, most of the time I try to be a positive person, but some situations can't be handled with a positive attitude. Okay, this part here, it's like the examiner's thinking, what is that? What do you mean? And anytime the examiner is like, it's so confusing, your mark starts to go down. Okay, does that make sense? Same thing, Alexander. I'm not asking you if you get irritated. I'm asking you if you're usually a positive person. You can, well, okay, Alexander, you can say sometimes you get irritated by some people or events. Sure, but then at least explain that, right? Like the other day, I was happy most of the day, but somebody, I don't know, scratched my car and it made me upset. Okay. So you have to clearly answer that question. All right, try this one, everybody. What do you do to be happy? What do you do to be happy? Give me a nice full sentence answer for that question. Okay, let's see it in the chat. So this one here. What do you do to be happy? In the meantime, I'm going to share something. I think Alexander's going to like it a little bit later on. All right. Okay. So, let's see what you have there. Okay. Abhishek Subedi says, for me, happiness comes from inner peace and self-growth. I focus on activities that bring me fulfillment, such as learning new things, setting personal goals, and spending time with family. Okay, it's not bad. It's a very robust answer, Abhishek. Okay, so this would be like a band, if you said this nice and fluently, this would be like a band 7. Okay, students, why is this not a band 8 or 9? Okay, what do you think? Why is that not a band 8 or 9? Hopping Up says there's no examples. Yeah, it's not specific. Okay, so that's why. Yeah, it's a bad color. Let's try something else. There we go. All right. Yeah, so Abhishek, if you want to make this into like a band 8 or a band 9, first of all, avoid the word things. Like you said, I like to try new things. Well, what kind of things, right? New sports and entertainment, like hockey, for example. Okay. So Abhishek, you want to be specific, setting personal goals, like going to university in the US. Okay, so they need to be specific to make it a band 9. All right, Thunderbird says, watching a football match on TV is interesting. It makes me relaxed after work. Okay. Careful here. Relaxed is not the same as happy. Okay. So make sure that you're always focusing on the exact nature of the question. So watching a football match on TV is interesting. It makes me relaxed and I enjoy the matches after all the work, especially when my favorite teams like Manchester United are winning. Okay, so something a little bit more specific, and you have to put in a word that shows that you're having fun or you're being happy, like enjoy. When you're enjoying, you're kind of happy. Relaxed and happy are not really the same. Okay, they're kind of close, but not the same. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? All right. So let's get into a little bit of actual speaking practice, just like what you experience in the real test. So right now we're speaking, reading, writing, listening. Let's do a lot of speaking, and we're going to use Zoom for that. So if you don't have Zoom, definitely a good app to install. You'll probably use it eventually for work or school. And this is the URL. So I'm going to start up the Zoom session. And I see lots of great answers in the chat there, students. So we'll start up the Zoom session, and then you can practice your English with me. You can volunteer. And we'll learn some more tips and vocabulary and strategies to get those higher band scores. Okay. All right. I will start up Zoom here. this session. You can use your camera on Zoom. I will continue using it here on YouTube. And again, students, while you're joining in, just to give you an idea here, this Zoom session that you're about to experience, you can get more of the same experience when you sign up for the premium version of our course on our website. And you can do that by clicking this big red button at aehelp.com. Carolina, if you don't mind dropping the link into the chat. For general IELTS students, it's gieltshelp.com. It'll have this green background. And again, when you become a premium user, you get 2 more live classes. One will be on Thursday and one will be on Friday. So that's tomorrow and the day after this week. And then we do the whole class on Zoom. Okay. All right. Let me just start the session here. Get you all in. I'm sure some of you are waiting to join. Sorry about that. And then we'll get you in. Let's do it. So I won't be able to use my video here, but again, you can. Okay. And I can see we have Zoriana, Thamputsa, Manisha, Alexandra all joining. Okay. And of course, I need to put on my headphones so I can hear you. We'll get everybody in here. The more the merrier. And students, you can raise your hand to volunteer. I see Alexander has his hand up. So Alexander, why don't you unmute yourself? I know you were... and for those of you in the wait room, just be patient. I'll let you in soon. Alexander, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Alexander.
Hello. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing, Alexander?
As good as can be. But I notice you are in 30% of Canadians who does not boycott American products. You use Zoom, right? It's US made.
I think it's global. I've heard that Zoom is actually owned by Chinese. So, but who knows?
No. I checked intentionally. I checked it very carefully. It's 100% American.
So they say, Alexander. So they say. I've heard rumors that it's the company is registered in the US.
Chinese origin. Many Chinese origin entrepreneur works in US, recently.
All right.
Big IT specialists.
Well, I will show you Canadian pride here in just a moment, Alexander, but we'll get right into some speaking just to give everybody an idea of how the speaking works, okay? Are you ready?
Sure.
I'm just, okay. All right, let's do it. So here we go. Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. It has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. May I see your identification?
Sure. Here's my passport, which I have used for registration for this test. Please have a look.
What is your full name?
My full name is Alexander Vladimirov. My first name is Alexander, and my family name is Vladimirov. Please call me Alexander.
Okay, Alexander. For part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Let's talk about feeling happy. Are you usually a positive person?
Yes, I am. I try to be positive as much as I can. Just if I have some problem, I try to improve my mood by watching some good sport or comedy on TV. Just last week, for example, I enjoyed some hockey game when one of Russian hockey player overcome Canadian star record. So it's improved my mood that day.
When was a time when you felt especially joyful?
Well, it's difficult to remember exactly, but let me think. Last time I was on the ninth cloud when famous Ukrainian boxer Alexander Usyk won second time versus Tyson Fury. I remember this. It was last December. Probably it was the last time I really enjoyed life at that moment.
All right. I'm going to stop there, Alexander, and give you some feedback. You're doing great, by the way. I love how you're really working hard to just answer these questions clearly and directly with a good example. The examiners love hearing that, and those will get you good scores, everybody. That would definitely be like a band 7.5, so good, going kind of towards very good speaking. There's a couple of mistakes, so it'd be, I think, maybe more of a 7, maybe more closer to good speaking, and you want to be a little bit more fluent to make sure you get that 7. Some examiners are pretty hard and they might be like, oh, I want him to speak faster, so it's a 6.5. But I'm going to share something with you, Alexander, to make you happy. I thought I'd share this with you, and maybe some of the other students as well will recognize this. This is what I did the other week. And I kind of laughed when you mentioned hockey. So you should be able to see this on my screen. Do you see that picture that's just come up there? Let me see if the live stream is picking that up. There it is. Yep. Do you know what that is, Alexander? That picture.
Kubak Stanley, but I don't know who is with you. Is it famous person or just your friend?
That's me. That's my friend, and that's my 2 girls, and we're hugging the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
yeah.
You look nice.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
so that was last week with my friend. We got to touch the Stanley Cup, and that was a lot of fun.
You know, by chance you showed already before this photo. I thought it's FBI Director Patel.
No. Anyway, it was here. The Stanley Cup was here for the 100th anniversary of the Victoria Cougars winning the Stanley Cup 100 years ago in 1925. So. Yeah, super exciting. But can you tell everybody that record that was broken in hockey? So that just happened, and it was very big news as well for those of you who are hockey fans out there. And I know you know, Alexander, what record was broken just recently by the Russian player?
Yes, it's a broken record of Wayne Gretzky, who happened to be Ukrainian origin, Belarusian and Ukrainian mixed ethnic origin. And he scored 894 goals, and Alexander Ovechkin scored 895.
That's right. So the all-time scoring record, it's called the all-time scoring record, was broken.
All-time.
Yeah.
Only in regular championship, without calculation of playoff.
Yeah.
Still Gretzky's ahead a bit.
Yeah, this is true. Alexander, thank you so much. By the way, this expression that you used, I'm going to correct you a little bit. So I said, when was a time you felt especially joyful? You said, well, it's difficult to remember. Last time I was on 9 cloud. I was on cloud 9. Cloud 9. The last time I was on cloud 9. Okay, can you repeat that after me? The last time I was on cloud 9.
Last time I was on cloud 9 when the Ukrainian famous boxer won against the British one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so be very careful with expressions. Only use them if they're correct, because otherwise they'll be like, well, it's not correct, and then it'll be a negative instead of a positive. So, all right, Alexander, thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye. All right. That was Alexander. Everybody, give him a big thumbs up. That was great. Let's take another volunteer. Let me just see if anybody's kind of stuck in the waiting room here. Let's get everybody else in here. Giokim, Murasa, Dajkeya, lots more. Okay. All right. Let's see who else is volunteering here. Maddie, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, hi.
How are you, Maddie?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am doing pretty good also. Are you ready for a few questions?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. So let's talk about being happy. If you could change one part of your life to be happier, what would that be?
Okay. I would love to change my school. Um, it's not that my school is a bad place to be. I just feel like if I went to another school, I would have more opportunities and different social circle, and that would make me happier.
How has your definition of happiness changed over the years?
Okay, in the past, I thought that happiness meant something materialistic, like having a big house and a expensive car. But these days, I feel like happiness means a close relationship with my family and friends. I think those are more valuable things that we need in life.
Okay, let me just stop there for a second, Maddie. Um, Okay, so just for everybody's understanding of what IELTS examiners are looking for, it's exactly that. Maddie, that was really good. That was a band 9 for those two questions. Okay, so Maddie, have you done the IELTS exam before?
Yes, I have got 7 for speaking.
You only got 7. Well, let me tell you, for part 1 for these questions, it's definitely a band 9. It's there's no way that should be a 7. That should be at least a band 8, 8.5. In the worst day with the worst examiners, it should still be a band 8 or an 8.5. Now, having said that, though, Maddie, I don't know how you do in part 2, and I don't know how you do in part 3. So, of course, your score is all of the speaking interview. It's not just part 1. But for these questions, those were band 9 answers. One slight improvement that you could make is always reflect the condition on the IELTS. So if the question says if you could change one part of your life, then kind of reflect that. So okay, given the chance, I would. So it just shows the conditional form in a complete kind of phrase. So, okay, given the chance, I would love to change my school. It's not that my school is so bad, but I feel that I would have more opportunities and a different social circle in another school, and that would make me happy. That's really nice phrasing, like using that collocation, social circle. So it's like the group of friends that you have or people that you interact with. That's considered higher level English for sure. And you said that would make me happier. Also, for the next question, you said, in the past, I thought that happiness meant something materialistic. Nice use of good vocabulary there, materialistic. And then you gave some examples like clothes or a big house. But now I think it's more about relationships. And then you gave some examples there as well. Very accurate English, very nice pronunciation, good use of language and coherence. So that's definitely all band 9, Maddie. So what I would tell you at this point, without speaking more, is focus on part 2. I have a feeling that you dropped your score in part 2 and maybe part 3. What do you think? Why do you think you got 7?
I mean, I took the exam 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and um, there was one question in part 3 that I didn't fully understand,
Mm-hmm.
but I just answered it the way I thought would be right.
Mm-hmm. And you figure it
So
probably
I,
wasn't. Right?
yeah, probably not.
Okay. Yeah, in those kinds of situations, did you try to get the examiner to repeat the question? Like, did you say to them, like, oh, sorry, I didn't catch you. Could you repeat that? Did you try something like that?
No, honestly, I pretended that I fully understood the question,
Ah,
and I
no! Never do that. Never ever do that. Oh gosh, no. Okay. Yeah, no. It's a good. A lot of people, because we feel embarrassed, right? We're like, oh, I don't understand it. No, never do that. Never pretend to understand a question.
yeah, but then
you
she
don't.
kind of asked the question again,
Yeah.
and I answered slightly different. So maybe it was a little bit better from her expressions.
Okay. Yeah, you always ask for clarification, and if you're not sure, what you need to do is you need to try to paraphrase what you think they're saying, and you can kind of get a hint from their expression. So, like in this case, if the question is how has your definition of happiness changed over the years? Let's say you don't really understand that question. Just for example, you could say something like, "Sorry, are you asking me?" How I think about being happy or in a good mood these days compared to like in my childhood or my teenage years. So you can try to kind of paraphrase what you think you're being asked, and then you want to really look carefully at the expression of the examiner. And if they give you a weird look, it means that it's probably not what they're asking you. If they're kind of giving you like a smile and like a bit of a nod, then it means that's what they're asking you. So that's kind of one way to do it, but definitely try to get clarity. I don't think, okay, so it was 2 years ago. I'm sure you improved lots since then, and I still don't think it should be just a one question that causes you to drop so much. So I think maybe still something in part 2, part 3 potentially. So really focus on those parts. Okay, Maddie?
Okay, I got it.
Okay. All right. Maddie, thank you so much. That was a lovely, lovely example of Band 9 answers to these part 1 questions. Thank you for volunteering.
Thank you a lot.
All right. Everybody give Maddie a big thumbs up. She was awesome. Those were some great answers. Zoriana says, yeah. All right. Aman Sharma, why don't you chime in? Why don't you mute yourself?
Hi everyone, good morning.
How are you, Aman?
I'm fine, that's fine.
Good, good, good. Aman, are you ready to continue with the speaking section?
Yes, I am
Okay.
ready.
Okay, great. Let's do it. So after part 1, the examiner will say that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you a card with some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these questions. Think about your answers. You can take notes in this 1 minute if you wish, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. Is that clear?
Yes,
Many people dream of having an adventure. Talk about an exciting adventure you would like to go on if you have the chance. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Aman, can you read the questions for us on the screen for this part 2?
many people dream of having an adventure. Talk about an exciting adventure you would like to go on if you have the chance. Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you go with? What would make the adventure exciting and memorable?
Okay, great. Yep, and students always really carefully read the questions. Sometimes it's good to read them twice. It's definitely good to look at them while you're speaking. Okay, one big mistake I'm on, a lot of students just quickly read it once and then they don't look at them again until the end of the 2 minutes. That's not good. You want to look at them so you make sure you're answering them. Okay, it's important to answer these. All right.
Yes,
So this is an event, right, Aman? An event?
yes,
Because it's something that happens. Everybody, when you're talking about an event, what should you include? So Aman, what should you include when you talk about an event?
we will talk about the journey, the location,
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the location of
and
the event. Yep.
dating,
You should talk about the time of the event, right?
time of
Yep.
the event,
So location of the event, the time of the event. Ghazi said the activities, right, of the event, like what happens at the event. Aman, correct?
yes, yes,
Yep. Before that, you should talk about the people, the attendees, right? So who goes to this event, okay, and the experience.
attendance, yes, yes.
Yeah, those are the main points. Okay, so Aman, if you and everybody, you should be doing this because maybe you will be volunteering next after Aman. So Aman, if you were to go on an adventure, where would you like to go?
If I would like to go to an adventure, I would like to travel the Himalayas, the Shivali one. They are very beautiful.
Sorry, so you would go
They
to Shivali?
Shivalik, Shivalik ranges.
Shivali Ranges?
Can I repeat my answer?
Yeah, just a second. I got you. Are these some mountains?
The mountain ranges in Himalaya.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's where you. When would you go? What time would you go?
I would like to go at the time of November and December in winter vacations.
Okay, in November, December. Okay, winter vacation. All right. Why then? Why in winter?
Because in winter there would be snowfall and that would be so fun.
Okay. Who would be there with you?
I will go with my parents, me, my father and my mother, and my grandmother.
And your grandmother. Why your grandmother?
She also like to travel with
Okay.
us.
All right. And what would you do? So if you went there with your parents, your sibling, your brother, your grandmother, what would you do?
I would fun out there and travel to new locations, temples, and explore myself.
Okay, would you take some pictures?
I will take some pictures.
Okay. Would you try some local food?
Yeah, I would definitely like to try the local food, which would be new to me.
Okay. All right. And what do you think? How would you feel after? So what would be your experience? Aman, what do you think? So when you go, you enjoy, what would be the experience? Did I lose Aman? I don't know. Aman, are you still there? No, I think I might have lost Aman. Anyway, hopefully Aman is able to reconnect. We'll give him a minute. In the meantime, I will explain actually what I'm doing here. So students, when you're doing part two, you're either talking about a person, place, an idea, or an event. And in this case, or an object. And in this case, it's an event. And when you learn what you need to say, like with an event, you have to talk about the location, you have to talk about the time, you have to talk about the attendees, you have to talk about the activities and the experience, then you can kind of set it up in that way. And as long as you follow that pattern, then you can give a very clear, structured response in that 1 to 2 minute time, and you'll do really, really, really well. Ghazi, can you unmute yourself? I think we've lost Aman. So Ghazi, if you unmute yourself. I see that you have your hand up here on the screen there.
Hello, Adrian.
How are you, Ghazi?
Good, I'm fine. Yeah, so I will try to talk despite I'm outside the home, but that's fine.
Okay.
That's why I don't open the camera. So,
All right. Well, thanks for the super chat contribution. I always appreciate that, Ghazi. That's nice of you.
yeah.
Ghazi, did you prepare an answer for this question?
Yeah, in my head, yeah, I have something about the adventure to go to an island.
Okay. All right. I will
Yeah.
start. I will start you off there. So let's continue with part two. Many people dream of having an adventure. Talk about an exciting adventure you would like to go on if you have the chance. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
have a chance to go adventure, I would like to go to Vogo. Vogo is an island is located on the northeast shore of the Atlantic Oceans on the Newfoundland coast. And in access to the island, we need to go on boat, or usually people go by ferry from the Gander harbor. And the trip, it takes maybe a couple of hours to get there. It's kind of risky sometimes. I would like to go with my friend John. John, he loves such as adventures, I mean. And once we got there, we would like to stay a couple of nights. We do like a camping in the nature. And there's also the exciting part. There's also some wild animals there, like black bears, and there is the moose deers. And yeah, I would love to stay there with him, and we do like fishing mostly. And yeah, and we will take some pictures for the memory there in the island, and have a chance to go there maybe in the next summer, because the weather will be nice and warm. We cannot do it now in the winter.
Okay.
That will be a risk, yeah.
Okay, your time is up. I will stop you there, and we'll go on to part 3. Ghazi, that was really good. Great job. Thumbs up. That was fantastic. I've never heard
I
of
just
this
made
island.
it up. I
Oh, you
just made
did?
it up.
So you're good. You're turning into a good storyteller. You're going fishing. There's wild animals, bears and moose. It definitely sounds like a fun outdoor adventure. I think just working a little bit on fluency, a little bit on grammar, you'll get an even higher score. But I think that was a very clear 7 for me. That was good English.
Okay.
As well described.
Yeah, the only thing I know in this story, just the name of the island, Fogo. That's it. So everything.
Everything else was made up, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's totally okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, your goal in the IELTS is not to tell your life story or the truth to the examiner. Your goal is to get a good mark, and you can do that in many ways. So that was fantastic. You're just basically talking about an outdoor adventure. I would include a little bit. It's so easy to forget to say obvious information, but in the IELTS you just have to say the obvious information. So you have to say something like, I love nature. And I think this adventure would be a great way for me to explore and connect with the environment.
Yes.
So just kind of mentioning that obvious statement, because I'm guessing that's why you want to go on this adventure, because you like nature, you like the peace and the beauty of nature. So you want to tell the examiner that part of your thinking, right? But overall, very nicely structured. You went through the steps very well, so it was very easy to follow, very picturesque. Like I visualized you going on this adventure on this island and camping. So thank you so much for that, Ghazi. That was great.
Oh, thank you, Adrian, for having me and for your encouragement.
Oh, you're doing it. Yeah, it's all you.
I would love in the future to go on adventure with you. So
yeah, maybe one day if you come to
Maybe
BC,
one
let
day.
me know. Yeah, if you're ever visiting the West Coast, Ghazi, send me a message and let me know. Okay?
Sure, yeah, I will love to see you, yeah, for sure, in the future.
Absolutely.
Okay,
All right,
have a
Ghazi.
nice day. Thank
too.
you.
Bye, Ghazi. All right, that was Ghazi, everybody. Let's give Ghazi a thumbs up. Murasa, we haven't heard from you in, I think, a while. Do you want to unmute yourself? How are you, Murasa?
I'm fine. What about you?
I am doing good. Murasa, just try to speak up a little bit or get closer to your microphone so you're a little bit louder. Okay?
So now is this okay?
Yep, it's a little bit better for sure. Yep. Yeah, thank you. All right, Murasa, are you ready for this part 2?
Yes, sir, I'm ready for this.
Okay, let's do it, and then we'll segue a little bit into part 3. Many people dream of having an adventure. Talk about an exciting adventure you would like to go on if you have the chance. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay. An exciting adventure that I love to do is rafting at Kabul River, which is approximately 5 kilometers away from my home. I would love to go there in this summer, maybe as the winter is less in there time, and I can enjoy without any problem. Definitely, I plan to go there with my siblings, Sarah and Ali, as both of them like to visit such places, and like me, they also like to do rafting. Well, from um, from the net, we collected a lot of information about rafting and about the traveling time, etc. And we come to know that we will go there at a reasonable price. The ticket of the rafting is approximately 500 rupees, and people enjoy the rafting with the safety and guidance. Well, mm, there not only for the rafting but also a beautiful museum is there where people go there to come to know about the history of Afghanistan. We also decided that we will take a lot of pictures and make videos and keep all of these which will be reflect our memories. I am sure I will have a fantastic time there uh, as we go there with the full planning. And I like to suggest other people to visit this area for enjoyment and come out from the monotonous.
Okay, your 2 minutes is up. I will stop you there, and we will now go on to part 3. For part 3, let's talk a little bit more about adventure and travel. Why do people like going on adventures in faraway places?
In my perspective, usually people like to go for the adventures because they want to relax their mind. Sometimes people spend a lot of time either in study or at the workplaces, and their mind become totally just so. In order to come out from the daily tough routine, they visited faraway areas and visit there for enjoyment like this.
Is it possible to have adventures locally?
Yes, it is also possible. As I mentioned in my part two, I would love to visit the Kabul River for the adventure. Not only it is convenient for me, but I can go there economically. I mean, with the budget, freely budget. So yes, it's possible.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. That was really good, Murasa. Great job. 2 thumbs up. That was fantastic. You did a really good job. So you would go rafting, river rafting, with your siblings on the river that's kind of near your home. Like you said, I think you said it's only about 5 kilometers away. And that was really, really good. And then, even better, I hope everybody caught that because this was a really good strategy by Murasa. In part 3, Murasa connected the part 2 answer. You said, in my perspective, people like to go further for adventures because they like to relax their mind. And then after, when I asked you, is it possible to have adventures locally, you said, yes, it is also possible. As I mentioned in part 2, I would go to this river, which is conveniently located close to my home. So very nice connection. Students, for those high band scores, the examiners are looking for connected natural conversation. So that was really good. Murasa, I think you would get like a band 7.5 for that. You're doing really, really well for sure. Try to really stay on topic. So in part 2, you started to
I
talk.
noticed I was yes.
Yeah, and you know, we don't have a perfect connection, so I couldn't hear every word either. But it still made a lot of sense because you just had really good information. So you said you want to go river rafting, right? And when you're talking about river rafting, you want to focus on that topic, right? So you can say like, this is a big river. It's quite fast. I think it would be a bit scary because, of course, it's dangerous to go river rafting, especially if a person falls out of the boat. But at the same time, feeling the power of water push the raft down the river, up and down, while seeing the beautiful surrounding nature, like the trees on the sides of the river and the animals and the birds, that would just make it all worth it. So just kind of focusing on that rafting experience, right? So maybe after this class, Murasa, read a couple of articles about how people describe their river rafting experience, and then try to say that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right? And that's always good to do, students, when you're practicing, is do a bit of research after, like, how do I talk about a river rafting adventure? Right? And then you learn more about it. But Murasa, overall, a very good job. So thank you so much for sharing, and it was good to hear your voice after so long.
Yes. I will be regular from today.
It was just fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good time.
You too. Thanks, Murasa. All right, let's give Murasa a thumbs up. I see there's a good amount of chatting going on as well between some of the individuals here, so that's fantastic. Students, we've run out of time, so we're going to end the Zoom session for now, and you got a little taste of part 1, 2, and 3. I did see the others that were volunteering. Students, if you liked that, make sure you join at aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com, because we have a Zoom class for our premium users tomorrow, focusing on reading. Lots of interactions there as well. And then we'll have another speaking class all on Zoom on Friday. Okay? And I'm really going to focus on giving maximum time for you to practice. So Alice, Jack, Anna, others that didn't have a chance, Abraham, make sure to join, and you're kind of at the top of my list for the next volunteers. So thank you, Carolina, for moderating the chat. Again, everybody, aehelp.com. It's got the blue background. gieltshelp.com has got the green background. And I look forward to hosting you tomorrow for those of you who are premium users, and seeing all of you next week on YouTube as well. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.